So far we have understood how microbes work and why balance matters in fermentation. Now it's time to actually start fermenting slowly, simply and safely. In this episode I will show you the most basic fermentation method and also explain how to clean your jars properly, which salt works best, how to measure salt correctly and what to consider when using water and vegetables. How to clean the jar. Before starting fermentation, jar cleanliness is very important. Place your glass jars inside a pot, pour hot water into the pot and add a little soap. Let the jar sit down for some time. This helps loosen any residue or smell. After that, wash the jars thoroughly with clean water. Place them upside down on a clean towel and let them dry completely. Clean jars help fermentation stay stable and safe. Okay, now let's look at what you will need to ferment. Any fresh vegetables, a clean glass jar, clean water, non-iodized salt. Choosing the vegetables. You can use almost any vegetables: cabbage, carrot, cucumber, radish, cauliflower, beans or mixed vegetables. Just wash the vegetables properly under clean water so no dirt or residue remains. No need to use vinegar, soap or anything else. Simply washing is enough. Now is the most important part, salt rule. For safe and balanced fermentation, we use 2% salt. That means 20 grams of salt for every 1 liter of water. You may notice that teaspoon and tablespoon comes in different sizes. Even spoons that look similar can hold different amounts of salt. Because of this variation, measuring salt in grams is the most reliable method. Using a kitchen scale keeps fermentation consistent and safe every time. If you measure only with spoons, results may vary. So always prefer grams over spoon measurement. And remember, best salt to use is rock salt, sea salt without additives, pink salt. Avoid iodized table salt. Avoid salt with anti-caking agents. Water tips. Water quality affects fermentation. Use only filtered water or boiled and cooled water. Avoid chlorinated tap water. Chlorine can slow or disturb fermentation microbes. Simple fermentation steps are: chop the washed vegetables, put them into the clean dry jar. Dissolve 20 grams of salt in 1 liter of water. There are various methods to measure the salt, but the one I am showing now is the easiest. So just dissolve 20 grams of salt in 1 liter of water. So your water and salt brine is ready. And then pour the brine until vegetables are fully submerged. It doesn't matter what's your jar size, small, medium or large. You have to pour until the vegetables are submerged. Make sure nothing is exposed to air. Close the lid loosely or use a lid that allows gas to escape. Once fermentation starts, after some time the brine can overflow, so it's better to put a plate under the jar. Here you can see the cauliflowers are not fully submerged. So what I am doing, I am taking a cabbage leaf and I will put on top, and then on top of that I will put a glass item. But this glass item is not perfectly matched, so I will change another glass item and then I will put it and I will close the lid. Putting cabbage leaf on top will ensure that nothing is floating. And that's it. Fermentation has started. Fermentation time. Leave the jar at room temperature. 3 to 5 days for mild fermentation. 7 to 10 days for stronger flavor. The drawback of this method I have shown is that there might be some extra brine left unused, which is better than using complicated steps and complex calculation for the salt measurement. Observe, smell and taste daily. What's normal? If there is small bubbles, light cloudiness, a pleasant sour smell. So after 48 hours, you can see the brine became cloudy and some bubbles are also there. Now I will open the jar and see what's happening inside. Here you can see very thin layer on top which might be mist, just started. And I will clean the jar with the kitchen towel and then close it again. If everything is going well, there should not be any yeast within 48 hours. Even though is not harmful, but here the possible reason could be lack of salt. Sometimes the pink salt, they have less saltiness than sea salt. So when you're using pink salt, you can easily use 2.5% instead of 2%. And the other reason could be vegetables were not washed properly, some residues were there. Now let's open the second jar and you can see everything looks fine except some cauliflower are floating, but there is no mold or anything. So I will quickly take it out and then I will close the jar again and leave it for another 2 to 3 days. I'm putting a plate below because sometimes the brine can overflow. But always remember, fermentation time can vary based on the weather, on the room temperature. If the room temperature is more than 20 degrees Celsius, then fermentation can go very fast and you may not have to keep for 5 days, maybe 3 to 4 days will be enough. You can keep the fermented vegetables with brine or without brine when you are putting in the fridge. If the vegetables are left in the fridge, it can go up to few weeks to few months, even a year. So the key takeaway is fermentation does not need complexity. It needs clean jars, washed vegetables, the right salt amount and clean water. When these basics are right, good microbes do the rest. In the next video, I will show you common fermentation problems and how to fix them. Bad smells, soft vegetables, mold and slow fermentation. So start your first jar today and let fermentation teach you patience. If you have liked this video, don't forget to comment and subscribe for detailed fermentation knowledge and fermented food recipes.